So, if you're a Canuck fan right now, you got to be feeling pretty good, right? It's 5-2. Canucks beating Carolina. This is the way the Canucks used to be able to score. Sven Baertschi, great game. I've been hard on Baertschi, and I will give Baertschi his due. Tonight he's played well. This is my T-shirt that I got a year ago to basically, yeah. Canuck fans aren't a big fan of this shirt. Um, but no, Carolina has looked pretty lost, and their goaltending has really let them down. And the Canucks have been in full effect. Tramkin is playing one of his best games, period. Tramkin is playing very, very well. I'm very impressed with Tramkin. Let me see. I had the box score loaded. Let me just go back to it. Aho has looked good as well for Carolina, but yeah, Burrows with 2 points. I've mentioned before that Burrows is in a contract year and he's going to want to play in the NHL again next year. Henrik Sedin with an assist, so now he's 11 points short of 1,000. It is, and Daniel Sedin with another point. I think he's 38 short of 1,000. And Louis Eriksson with an assist. There was an article today on Sportsnet, I believe, talking about the 6 biggest busts in the offseason. Louis Eriksson's on there. Andrew Ladd, of course, is on there. There are a bunch of, there were 6 of them. And it's funny because I was thinking back to the summer when Ladd signed with the Islanders and they gave him the amount of money they did. I said, this is crazy. And I had people telling me, well, Ladd's a good player. And I'm like, no, Ladd was a good player. He's not a good player anymore. And then for Eriksson, I had everybody telling me all summer, oh, well, Louis Eriksson has great chemistry with the Sedins. I'm like, they've never played together in the NHL. The NHL is different than international hockey. And Louis Eriksson overachieved last year. It's that whole contract year thing. But yeah, the Canucks tonight appear to have it together, and you need a game like this. You need a laugher. You need a game that now it's not the third period yet, and the Canucks' ability to blow a lead is out there. But the Canucks desperately needed a laugher. They needed a game that was salted away rather early. Granlund's been Johnny on the spot. Um, it's been an impressive showing for them, and yet at the same time, the disclaimer here is it is the Hurricanes. This is a team that, if not for the goaltending of Cam Ward, would be easily bottom in the NHL. And it's funny because at the start of the year as well, when I did my season predictions, I said Carolina's one team I look at and go, nothing. They have nothing up front that tells me their first line. They have nothing on the blue line, and their goaltending is iffy. And I got some brushback for that. I'm not going to overestimate or exaggerate it, but I did. I got some brushback. Some people saying, well, no, I like the Hurricanes. I'm like, well, I don't. And I haven't seen anything this year to make me think I'm wrong. Aho looks like the real deal. He does. I think that he's a building block. And Jeff Skinner, if he can keep himself together and get back to where he was as a rookie, there's no reason to think that Skinner won't be good as well. But tonight's game shows that the Canucks are, and this is the funny thing too, because there are Canuck fans out there saying, oh, I want a tank. The players don't want a tank. Even Buffalo, in the year that they got Eichel and they were trying to get McDavid, they were trading away players who were playing well. They were trying to trade down because Buffalo wanted that number 1 draft pick. So if you were playing well and winning them games, they got rid of you, which is the main reason that I don't like the current system. But tonight is a good example of how the players don't tank. Management might try, but as well, Trevor Linden's not going to tank. This is not Linden's idea of a smart move. Tanking is not something he wants to do because Vancouver doesn't have the appetite for it. Vancouver does not have the appetite for a rebuild. Some of us fans, especially us hardcore fans, we're willing to accept it and embrace it and watch the Canucks try to do what the Leafs are trying to do and what Pittsburgh did 10 years ago. But, it is not that easy because you can tear it apart. Building it back up, though, is really, really difficult. There are some building blocks I like in Vancouver. The funny thing is, I love Tramkin. I think he's a fantastic defenseman. And I don't like Goodbranson. I don't. I see him take dumb penalties. I don't see him being particularly fleet on his feet. I don't see. I know there's people who see this dominant top four physical force. I don't see it. I genuinely don't. I think he's a serviceable number five defenseman. I think he's a serviceable number five guy, potentially number four. I know he's huge, but I don't see top four. I don't. And he is going to want a lot of money in the offseason. Goodbranson wants to get paid and paid a lot. So I don't know how this is going to work because Trampkin's the better defenseman. There, I said it. Trampkin is a better defenseman than Goodbranson. In my eyes, I like Trampkin better. And I've been cheering for Trampkin since last year. His first game in the NHL, I went nuts for Trampkin. I thought, wow, this kid is big and he's tough and he's smart and he's fast. Wow. I watch outlet passes with blue liners. Do they pass across the center of the ice? Is the first thing I look at. If you're a rookie and you're passing across the center of the ice, welcome back to the American Hockey League because you're not going to last in the NHL. If they make that smart pass down the boards, if they hold on to the puck and they wait and they survey the ice and they go, okay, where's the smartest place to put this? Those are the defensemen I really like. When I see a blue liner come out and he's just trying to be pretty and he's trying really, really hard and he's pressing, mistakes are going to happen. He's going back to the American League. And I haven't seen that with Trampkin. I still don't understand. And if somebody can explain to me what exactly was the purpose of the Canucks leaving Trampkin on the bench for, 9 games? They leave him sitting upstairs watching in a suit when the team sucks. The team is clearly better with him in the lineup. Trampkin, Horvat, Hutton, Stetcher. I like a lot of the future of this team. And Berchi, if he could play like this every night, this is the maddening thing with Berchi. Berchi's a world killer tonight. He is dominant and fantastic, and can just as easily disappear for the next 6 games. And people say, well, he's young. Yeah, but he's got 4 years of experience now. This is not the time to be using the young excuse. He has to be ready now, and he doesn't have to score 3 points a game, obviously, but he shouldn't be disappearing for weeks at a time. Oh, they're talking about other games. So the Leafs are ahead of the Sharks 1-0, and right now I believe the Rangers are ahead of Chicago. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Anyways, so I just figured I would just post a quick video about that. It's after the second now between Carolina and Vancouver. And just because I talk a lot of shit about Vancouver, I admit that. I talk a lot, and Vancouver fans get upset with me. So this is to kind of let you guys know I'm not anti-Vancouver, and I don't cheer against Vancouver. Games like tonight are fun to watch, but I always watch it with an awareness that, okay, this would mean they have 2 wins and 3 losses on this road trip, and now they have to go home after a 5-game road trip and play Tampa, who are going to be pissed because they lost to Vancouver at home last week. So, I always keep pumping the brakes because I've been watching this team for 35 years. And it is difficult to find a time when there's been sustained success, in terms of actual excellence. And the funniest part is the most impressive Canucks teams have been the Canuck teams from 5-6 years ago. And they were the ones who, more so than any other era for Vancouver, kind of got shat on by fans from the rest of Canada. And it's funny because the West Coast Express only lasted a year and a half, and yet WCE or everybody's like, oh, West Coast Express was the best. And it's like, no, West Coast Express wasn't an era any more than the Age of Ultron was an age. Okay, in Avengers wasn't an age; it was like 5 minutes, and I don't look back on the 80s and the 90s and say they were the best either. I mean, the 90s team, the 91-92 Vancouver Canucks in my eyes is still the best roster they've ever had, and maybe I'll do a video at some point talking about the 91-92 Canucks and why I think that was the best team they ever put together. But era, we're talking more than one season here, an actual era. This era, I'm trying really hard not to say this is a era, has been the best one for Vancouver. and it is fun to watch watch these games and see these guys play. And the thing is, you still got guys like Magna and Chapu and Spiza and Skilly. These are all guys that will be gone when the Canucks get back up in there. Biega, when the Canucks get back to being a respectable top tier team, those guys are all gone. Those are your placeholders, your third, fourth line, your glue guys. They may be great in the dressing room, but they're the guys who go by the wayside when you start upping the skill level on the team and you become competitive with the rest of the league. So, it's all a matter of perspective. Mine may be different than yours. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm going to go get myself something to drink and have a little bit of something to eat as well. Um, I've been neglecting myself today, I guess. Anyways, thanks for watching, and remember, subscribe, stick around. I had one comment last night about, well, you had a subscriber, but then you said the Sharks were the #1 brand, and I went, what? That's fine. That's fine. I don't expect people to, automatically subscribe and agree with everything I have to say, but watch other videos and, just get a general feel for things, because I do have different views, but I have varying views, and I'm also willing to admit when I'm wrong. So, in reference to a video last night, if Torrey Krug gets suspended, I have no problem admitting I'm wrong in that one either. I haven't heard anything yet today, but if it does happen, I will admit that I'm wrong. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you all again very soon.